Like, the tracks that I don't think about and have made the quickest are my favorite tracks. When you dive into creativity as an artist, imitation is, like, kinda that gateway,
Mhm.
but then learning how to break away from that is kind of, like, where you find true success and
Yep,
satisfaction, like,
yep.
intertwined with each other.
Dude, 100%. Yeah, I think, like, just thinking back to my musical timeline, uh, you just, like, learning different instruments, learning, like, bass and how to play, like, rancid style punk bass,
Oh, yeah.
learning how to play the drums, trying to mimic, like, the System of a Down drummer,
Mhm.
uh, the even into, like, electronic production, you step into, like, some dubstep stuff or some house stuff, whatever, but you follow that too far and you're just replicating somebody else. And to your
Yep.
point, you have to, like, take those technical skills and then go back inward and be like, "Okay, how who am I? How am I feeling? What am I trying to share? And how am I trying to use these skills to, like,
Yep.
make the thing, whatever."
Mhm. When I get in the studio with people, I've started denying listening to reference tracks.
Dude, mhm.
People like,
Yep.
we'll get in the studio, sometimes with people I've never even, produced with before, but it's like, they're like, "You wanna pull up some reference tracks?" I'm like, "Hell no. Let's just start making something. Let's just start making something and see where it goes," you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
so
we can
important.
listen to a reference track maybe 20 minutes from now, but let's just get something down that's just raw,
Yeah,
you know?
totally. Yeah, it's like you if you're collabing on something and say like you and I are sitting down and say we're like in a place where we have to be like very intentional. Maybe like we're in the middle of like a release cycle, both of us are like rocking,
Sure.
have a bunch of momentum, whatever. There's a need to like communicate about the deep intentions and how we're gonna align like our sounds and our brand and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But like you can really do that just through talking. You don't
Yeah.
have you don't have to be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, let's go make this let's just talk about, like, the emotions and the message and then
Mhm.
find where, our our vibes meet."
Yeah, or even, like, subconsciously, just through
Mhm.
pure creativity. So, like,
Yep.
if you hop in the studio and you're both producers, you know, okay, I'm gonna make a drum loop, and then you go make a bass line, and we'll see where we intersect. Because
Mhm.
that emotion that defines who you are as an artist is gonna come through, you know, through that
Yep.
creativity. Like, if you're proficient in just expressing yourself
And
musically,
achieving that, yeah,
you know?
totally.
So,
Yep.
you can if you just start making some stuff, you can define it later and kind of like but that essence of that emotional, expression is going to come through if you're doing it authentically, you know?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
like, let's make this beat. It's slapping or it's a vibey beat, like, that's how I'm feeling right now, and then you go play this thing on the keyboard, and then that's how you're feeling right now, and then we can be like, once we have something down, be like, "I see what the vibe is. Let's dive into it," you know?
Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk creative process for a little bit. Do you, when you're getting in the studio, are you more of like, "All right, I'm gonna save some samples, maybe I've got like an idea for a vocal," and you're like stashing that stuff over time, or are you kind of more of like a fuck around and find out?
I've become very, like, fuck around and find out. Like, I think, there if you're remixing something or, like, flipping a sample, starting with that sample is obviously like that's the point of what you're doing versus like
Mhm.
an original where it's just raw, making something from nothing. Um, but yeah, I think like I try not to think like every time I get in the studio and I'm like, I really like this track. I'd like to do something like this track. And I start
Mhm.
like trying to like fit it into the puzzle of what that track. It's
Yeah.
never satisfying. I'm like,
Yep.
it's not living up to my, the say it's like a track that I really love that I'm trying to like capture that vibe. Like I hold
Yep.
that vibe on a pedestal. And
Yeah. Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
make on the on in Ableton is never up to that echelon.
Huh.
But every time I've just got in the studio, like the tracks that I don't think about and have made the quickest are my favorite tracks. And I go back and I think I'm like even trying to replicate my own tracks where I'm like, oh, I want to do something like that again. It's
Mhm.
never the same. Like I go like the Bitches with Squid is a track like that. Like we literally got in the studio and I was like, we're gonna make a track. And she just said bitches. She said, I was like, what's the concept for the track? She was just like bitches. And I was like, all right. And then we just started cooking and it was done in like one session in like 2 hours.
Oh, that's awesome.
And same thing with that Still Tippin' remix. Like
Bruh.
that's one of my favorite tracks I've done in the past year. And I go back and I think I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking when I made that? And I can't even like recall the
Yeah.
process of making that. It just happened. I just made it. And
Yep.
it's like if it's the less like friction or like effort you have to do to like make this thing, the
Uh-huh.
better it is.
Yep.
It just
Yep.
happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear a lot of like industry professionals, like Rick Rubin talks about this a bit, the importance of bringing the creative side of the process to the finish line whenever you're working on something,
Hmm.
because as soon as you leave it and come back to it, you're not feeling, you're not in that space.
Yeah. What's the Ernest Hemingway write drunk, edit sober?
It's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like just get out of your head, create some shit and then come back and finish polish it up or whatever. But you know, have that shit rolling while you're in that moment.
Yep. Yeah. It's so important. It is so important to find your like equilibrium, find your balance, find your like state that produces the most creativity.
Hmm.
And for some people that's uh booze, cocaine, LSD, like
Sure.
the Hunter S. Thompson route.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
for some people it's yoga, meditation, breath work,
Mhm.
matcha, whatever the combination. What does that
I
look like
think
for you?
I think I don't know. I mean, I like doing it sober. I like making shit drunk, on
Yeah.
on substances. It depends on the vibe and the time of day and who I'm with, but the
Yeah.
the I think the whole point behind that is just it's getting to like just um a raw like uh you're not thinking too hard about it.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
meditation is a great way to just like kind of leave all the worldly anxieties, let that shit go, you
Yeah.
know? And I think
Yep.
people drink alcohol for the same reason, you know? And the
Totally.
more you can the more you can get into that flow state, it's the same way with DJing, honestly. Like when I'm
Yeah.
the best sets I've
Yes.
ever played, I'm not thinking about what I'm gonna play. I just know what I have to play next.
Mhm.
It's just like I'm like, oh, I gotta play that track next. I'm not
Yeah.
even like thinking about it. It's just like maybe I'm scrolling and I'm just like, oh fuck, yeah, that one. And then you play it
Yep.
and
Yep.
you're not thinking about it too hard. You're just doing the damn thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I think whatever can
Honest
help you let go and just do the damn thing,
just
that's,
do
you
it.
know,
Yeah.
that's what it takes. Whatever you can do to just to get to that pure creativity.
Yeah.
And I think like that's where you get the most raw stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, one thing for me, and I think it's I guess it just depends on the person, but I like to take time with what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Like, I will literally, when I'm making a drum loop, I will take an hour on a 4-bar loop or
Yep.
2-bar loop, you know? Literally
Yep.
just like sitting there and letting the groove just like adding things slowly until it
Yes.
feels perfect, you know?
Yep.
Because that's the whole this music, it's so repetitive, like that shit has to be
It's all the more
like
important.
locked in, you know?
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
think like a lot of people are like, all right, let's get the drums in and let's get all this and let's do this and this and this. And I've been trying really hard to just be like, slow down,
Yeah.
slow
Yeah.
down. We're just chilling. We got time. We got plenty of time, you
Yeah.
know? Take your time, let
Yep.
things marinate, see how it
Yeah.
feels, you know?